Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. Massive weekend of rugby. We've got a couple of absolute bangers. We spoke about it last weekend. We're going to get fans from all over the world every single time. This time we've got Tiernan representing Ireland. Well, Tiernan there. And then we have Murray underneath me. Obviously, welcome back, Aiden. But to the other boys, are we excited for this weekend of rugby? Let's start with you, Murray. As from a neutral perspective, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa, Scotland, to start the week, to end the week. Oh, how glorious is that?
Perfect way to do a weekend of rugby. All the minnow games in the middle. Big ones, start and finish. Got to love it.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. What's the biggest game, of course? Do you think Ireland New Zealand is the biggest game of the entire series?
Probably.
No. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm just following you.
Nah, probably Italy, Argentina. Honestly, I reckon that game's going to be fireworks.
Classic.
Probably with the hype around it. Yeah. I mean, it's craziness. Like, I spoke about it on Saffers Unscripted yesterday, and Brevan said, listen, there's not a lot of pressure on Ireland or anything. I think there's a ton of pressure on Ireland, right? Because they've put this thing above them where it's like, we only lost the quarterfinal and we should have won that game, right? It's the should have won that. We should have won the World Cup if we won that game. They've put all this stuff. They've written off the All Blacks. If they lose this game, it takes away from their series win in New Zealand, in my opinion. And it also takes away from the World Cup performance. It's just like, what do they actually have to brag about then? That's my opinion. Because if you write off this New Zealand team and you lose at home, it's like, well, we beat you at home and you beat us at home. So now it's just kind of nullified.
That's the thing. We're so confident about that World Cup game. Lose that. Obviously, we did win the series, but now we haven't lost in the Aviva for about 5 years with fans in it. And if we were to lose that game, you'd lose that. You'd lose to the All Blacks team that everyone's calling the worst All Blacks team of all time. Of course, you want to go after getting knocked out in the quarterfinal by the All Blacks. You want to go beat them. So there is a lot on the line, a lot more than people are saying. And when you throw in that Rico and Johnny situation, it really becomes a must-win situation. Like, you can't imagine we lose and imagine Rico scores some, be a disaster. It just can't happen. So I do think Ireland, they're going to be determined and they're going to go get this win.
I mean, you're already alluding to something I said. I was wanting to happen now. Not for the result. I just want Rico Ioane to score and to the crowd or something like that, just to pander to them and just a crowd of boos. Yeah.
I think it also adds up to the fact, like, including the Rico Johnny situation, the last 10 games between these two sides, it's 5 apiece. Like, that's the better part of our history within rugby that we've grown up watching, and it's 50-50. So I think it all just culminates to this match in Ireland. It's so much to play for. As you said, it's not a World Cup quarterfinal. It's not a knockout game, but it may as well be one. It's going to feel like one, and these players are going to want to win it just as much as they're going to win those games. So I'm super excited.
Listen, the atmosphere will be buzzing. This does not feel like a normal Autumn Nations game. This feels like a proper rivalry, like a score to be settled. Both teams, everything to play for, everything on the line. I think it's going to be a sensational game, and I think that first heat will be so sensational. That's why I'm so against this rule of calling a mark of the kickoff, because this game, you already know that first heat that comes in is going to set the tone. It's going to set the intensity. You already know. Tiernan, do you think the Irish do something to throw off the haka or to kind of accept the challenge?
The team won't do. What normally happens when Ireland play New Zealand is they do their haka and then the crowd sing "Fields of Athenry." It happens pretty much every time. So I think that'll happen again. It'll be very loud this time because obviously we don't like this team. They've knocked us out the last 2 World Cups. So yeah, we do want to get this win. It's going to be determined, and I do think I want that first hit to be Rico Ioane catches it. Gary Ringrose, the whole match is going to be 2 of them, and he just flattens him. And I want that the whole match.
I mean, I really hope they let Rico lead the haka in Ireland. Like, we obviously have our main Kaya, the person who leads the haka, being Cody and TJ. Both of them are out. Obviously, Artie's done it before, but this is the time. Just give it to Rico. It would be absolutely incredible. Obviously, he's a Māori boy as well, so he's got that mana, that spiritual strength. Just give it to him because it's going to be hectic. And as you said, that first hit. And I think every time Rico touches the ball, there's going to be a boo echoing around the stands. But
who do you reckon will do it? Do you reckon Adi Savea does the haka?
It'll be either him or Rico.
I hope Rico. I think it will be Rico. Yeah. I hope so.
What if you have Ardy lead it, but like Rico's at the front?
Yeah, that would be good too.
And then he
Little
just looks
advance
goofy.
again.
Yeah.
Walk over the camera, people. They're just in the way and ruining it. So let's just get them out of the way and get them, pay the fines. I don't care. Get them face to face.
Just give us some argy-bargy. I'm here for a couple of uppercuts to be thrown right off the upper. I do not care. Listen, but this game reeks of... Now, I'm not a big fan of Rico Ioane at 13, but this game reeks of him putting in a solid performance at 13. I just get the feeling like this guy, he'll probably step up for the moment like this and have a sensational game. Murray, what's your thoughts on it?
I've agreed with everything you said. There was a little joke on one of my comments that somebody wants Bundiaki, Jameson Gibson Park, and James Lowe to do their own haka back to the All Blacks, kind of like what Munster did a few years ago. I don't think that would happen. That would be quite interesting. But three-man. Still not great, but yeah. I don't know. This game is too tight to call. The head-to-head clash is unreal. Obviously, both teams got injuries. Cody Taylor and Ben Barrett out for the All Blacks. Ty Furlong out for Ireland.
Dan Sheehan
as well. Yeah, how could I forget? Mac Hansen is back, though, which is awesome. We love Mac. But is it too early to bring him back in? Because Calvin Nash was doing really well when Mac wasn't.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like a winger could, unless the winger is like this world-class player, it's usually not the biggest deal to replace a winger. Like they are there to finish the job. And I don't... Mac Hansen is good, but there's not a massive difference for me between Mac Hansen and Calvin Nash. I think both of them are class. Both of them are great players. But yeah, but both teams have their injury woes, but we're not going to use that as an excuse. We can't use it as an excuse. We didn't use it as an excuse when Ireland traveled to South Africa. Obviously, it makes the victory taste so much sweeter. But these guys, we brag about squad depth. They should be able to get it over the line either way. Now, Tiana, let's go to you. Obviously, you'd feel more confident going into this game, home country. Do you have a slight piece of nerves?
Not really, to be honest. I'm going to be fully honest here. I'm not really that nervous about a loss. What I am more nervous about happening is Rico scoring. That's the worst thing that could happen. But Dublin's an absolute fortress. We haven't lost there since 2021. We haven't lost with fans in the stadium since 2019. And that's really impressive considering as well we play every game there. So, yeah, it's going to be Ireland are without their favourites. New Zealand are without their underdogs. They could easily go get the win, especially when you put that much emotion to a game like this. They could get it done. Do I think they will? No. I think Ireland are going to win by 5 to 10 points. I think it's going to be a decisive enough win. But I don't know. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be exciting.
Aiden?
Well, I'm obviously going to disagree, but that's just because we support different people and we're never going to go against our own team. But yeah, I am nervous. It's a tough place to go and play, as Tiernan said there. What are they, 19 games unbeaten there at the moment? Haven't been beaten since 2019 with fans. Yeah, it's a brutal place to go and play. And obviously the squad they've picked, you can tell Farrell's gone for experience, as much experience as he can throughout the park, you know. Even if they haven't played that much recently, he knows that they can play rugby. He knows what they're worth and how they're going to play on the day. So it's going to be a challenge. And my boys, are going to have to play exceptionally well to get the win. But I also think Ireland are going to have to do the same if they want to knock one over on us.
Yeah, that's the thing, Murray. Like, I just feel like on paper, currently on form, you would probably say like New Zealand aren't at the standards that they necessarily want to be, right? They haven't really performed to the standards that they want to, and Ireland are looking great at the moment. But the thing is, when it comes to big games like this, we saw it in the World Cup. New Zealand kind of written off after they went to 14 men. They 9 points behind, 6 to 9 points behind. I can't even remember. And then all of a sudden, they just flipped the game on its head, right? New Zealand like being written off. Like, you can never do this because then they just come out. Like, the Aviva could be cooking, right? But New Zealand, they will not die trying. They will stay in the game permanently. So I'm going straight to you, Murray, as a neutral watching this game. So we're going to wrap up on the New Zealand-Ireland side of it. What's your prediction for it? How do you see this game playing out?
God, I don't know. I have argued with myself all week since it, and said yesterday I had All Blacks win it but it wouldn't surprise me if Ireland won it. I'm going to stick with that just because, and the logic isn't great, but we're going with it. Ireland haven't played since the summer. All Blacks have 2 games under their belt now. Like they're already raring to go, and that's the slightest difference I think is going to come into this. That they are game ready. They're ready to go. They're already in that cohesion. Like all the boys have been on tour. It's not going to be pretty, but I think All Blacks might steal it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ireland get a big comfortable win. So
Are you saying that
I
at the
like
same time
it.
though? Because we went from getting knocked out the World Cup 3 months playing now rugby, then we put 40 points past France. I don't really understand this whole that we haven't played together. Like there's no cohesion. It doesn't make sense that the All Blacks have played a ton of rugby. They've played some good rugby over the summer as well. But at the same time, Ireland, I really don't think we need this time to play together, especially because so many of the players are from Leinster. They're playing together all year pretty much. So.
Yeah, but they didn't really play together for Leinster, though, did they? They played
They played a
one
couple
game?
games, yeah. Yeah, they played it. They played 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, and the only standout guy was a South African.
Yeah, we haven't got our second gear yet. Well, wait till knockout stage and stuff. Then you'll see.
Okay, Tiana, so what's your official prediction on it then?
The official prediction, I'm not writing off the All Blacks by any means. They're one team you can never write off. But I do think with the atmosphere, games at home, all the emotion around this game, it is going to be an Ireland win. I do think it'll be close enough until maybe 60 minutes. I think our bench is a bit better. So I think it's to be Ireland win by 5 to 10 points. But it will be close. And Rico Ioane is getting flattened by Gary Rose.
Okay. Aidan?
I do think it'll be a close game, as Tiernan said. I obviously have it going a little bit the other way. And I disagree. I think with the teams you've named, I think our bench is actually a little stronger. We've put a lot more experience on our bench than you have. You've got a few players that are experienced but have played 0 minutes.
Very interesting point. Before you make a prediction, let's actually talk about that, right? Like that first 15 of Ireland's very strong, but I like the bench of the All Blacks. Like I think overall Ireland has the better starting lineup, but this game is being won and lost with the bench or with New Zealand's discipline. That could be like a massive factor.
But yeah, like with guys like Patrick Tuipulotu coming off the bench, he was immense against England.
Wow.
He provides that level head that I was telling you about in a previous video. He's just the right man to bring on. He's an enforcer. And then our scrummages that came on, Offa and Pasaleo Tosi, they were incredible. They really turned the game around, and I think they were probably the 2 biggest players that got us back into that match. So I like our bench for this game, and my prediction is All Blacks by 6.
Oh, I like
That like the difference in the benches, right? Ireland brings off a couple of experienced calm heads, those type of things. Like a clutch player like Frawley, he can slot the drop goals. Conor Murray controls the game. New Zealand have got dogs on the bench, just guys that are trying to make this. Like New Zealand kind of chose a bench where it's like, we know we're going to chase this game and we're going to chase it until the end. Like Cam Roy got something out of nothing. Peter Feta a bit more on the calm side, but then you look at, for instance, who's the Sammy Penny Fee now? Anton Leonard-Brown is just great. How is Anton Leonard-Brown playing? I thought he got a red.
No, because the way the rules work, it's like a little loophole in the rules. The way he got the second yellow card, it cancels out the other one because it wouldn't have happened if they'd called the original infringement.
No. I know that, but I thought he got because they sent it to the bunker, right? The head collision.
Yeah.
So I thought he got a red on that one. Straight head on head.
He got mitigating factors.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway.
He's got a good lawyer. That's basically what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. The Lincoln lawyer. I'm going with Steve Harvey. I've got basic knowledge tells me Ireland has this in the bag. I had a feeling that New Zealand loses to England but beats Ireland because I like this game. But I'm going home ground advantage. I'm switching right.
They are without a doubt the favourites for this game, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend they're not.
I'm going with this game to be so close, and then Frawley gets the drop goal the same as he did against South Africa.
That would be beautiful. That's the best way it could go.
So rinse and repeat of the England game, but Frawley secures it at the end with either a penalty or a drop goal. But 3 to 5 points either way. That's what I'm going.
See that?
That's fine.
Can't write the All Blacks off either.
No, you can never. You can never. But I also know this All Blacks team this year have decided to play rugby till about 60 minutes. And then decided to do absolutely nothing. In the past, they usually didn't play rugby for 60 minutes. And then that last 20 minutes put 35 points on you. So they're so unpredictable at the moment. Like, you just don't know. Just don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a fair prediction. It's going to be like a 3-point swing either way. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, let's move on to the closing game. We'll talk about the others as well. We'll fly through the others as well. But these are the two main games because this is the representation. Murray, well, we're coming straight to you. South Africa at
Yes.
Murrayfield.
Yes.
How many South Africans will be on the pitch? Is that 23 plus like 10 of yours? 33 South Africans on the pitch?
There's 3 South Africans for Scotland. Calm down. It's not that much. Not that deep.
How are you feeling leading up to this game, Murray?
I'm ready for it. I am. I'm so excited.
No Darcy Graham?
No, Darcy Graham failed his HIA. So he obviously failed his HIA on Saturday against Fiji. That's why he didn't return to the field. And then he failed the second one, and I believe it's just like 2 out of 3. If you failed the second one before your third one, you don't get to participate anyway. So it's a big loss, but Kyle Rowe's been doing sensational for both Glasgow Warriors and Scotland when he gives it a chance. Aaron Reid been scoring tries for fun down in the Prem for Sale Sharks. Hasn't had a massive game for Scotland yet, just because he was just capped in the summer in the Tier 2 tour. But yeah, it's good. We've got Finn Russell coming back. Blair Kinghorn's back in the mix.
Has Kinghorn been released?
Yeah, they're all on now. Everyone's allowed to play now.
Okay.
So it's exciting. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I want to see yous put the best team out as well.
We will. It's the first game, right? I think we play our strongest team for this game. Maybe slight rotations, like 2 or 3 changes for England, and then maybe a bit more wholesale when it comes to Wales, just to give everyone that opportunity to play, test our combinations and stuff. But expect full strength for this team. Obviously, it's only getting announced on Friday. But I kind of want to stay on Scotland quickly for you, because it's an interesting discussion knowing that Finn Russell and Kinghorn's joining back now. Would you? I don't think your squad has been announced yet, right?
No, we're waiting until Friday as well. There's a lot of mind games on between both Gregor Townsend and
We'll talk about them, yeah.
Would you start Finn Russell and Kinghorn now, seeing that they have to go up and play against South Africa, but they only joined this week, so they haven't really had training camps with the rest of the squad?
Well, they were actually Finn was with the team last week. He just wasn't allowed to play because of the rules.
Oh, okay.
You could train with them all you want. Blair, I think top 14 is very different. So Blair was in France, where he would have joined up this week, but I still would start them. They're still crucial to that back line. And no disrespect to Adam Hastings, because he was sensational last week. But I think everyone knows that like Finn Russell's first choice, and then the real battle is actually for second choice between Tom Jordan, who made his debut last week, and Adam Hastings, because they're both very versatile players. They can both cover 2 or 3 positions quite comfortably. So it's just who wants it more off the bench, really.
The thing is,
he's just gone.
I mean it with the utmost respect, right? That I just think Finn Russell is overrated. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way, right? Because people see him as the best player in the world. And if he's not the best player in the world, in my opinion, then obviously that means he's overrated in my mind. Okay. I just think when you play against South Africa, the one thing that you need is a calm head at 10. You can't be trying to do too much. And sometimes Finn Russell tries to do too much, goes pear-shaped, and you will get smashed. If he makes those mistakes, we saw he was nowhere in the World Cup. Like that game that we played against you guys in the World Cup, Finn Russell was nowhere to be found. There was no calmness on the pitch from Scotland. That's why there was no opportunities created at all in the end. Don't you think it might be a better shout to actually play Hastings this game?
I don't know. I think Adam, if it was to happen, Adam's more than capable of doing the job, and he would approach the game very differently. I think I think everyone knows that it's two very different squads when Adam's playing compared to when Finn's playing. But I don't know. I think you want your best players against the best team. And again, no disrespect, I love Adam Hastings. He's done really well, especially to come back from an injury, to get back into the international scene. But Finn's just Finn, and just let him go for it. Just let him do what he wants to do.
Top 10 fly-off in the world. Tiernan, from an outside perspective, you good to talk, man. I saw you just muted there.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, what's your thoughts on this game?
I don't know what this is about not starting Finn Russell. I think this is definitely Scotland's biggest game. And this is like you said, like casual, like rugby heritage on the line. All this talk about the South African players and the Scottish team from you guys. You really do have to go out there and put up a big result now. Like imagine Scotland beat the Springboks.
They won't.
Embarrassing, odds. You'd be a bit.
They won't. They won't. Well, they beat the team that beat you, right?
Which one? Like England, yeah.
Yeah.
Six
And they smashed them. And they smashed them.
Yeah, like that. Scotland are a really good team, and people underrate them a lot. I think they could definitely, on their day, maybe not beat Springboks, but definitely come close. And I think this will be a close game, especially with all the mind games this week between Townsend and.
Yeah, home ground advantage might make it a bit closer, but I'll get into that in a bit. Aiden, outside perspective, your initial thoughts. I'm just thinking about this game.
Initial thoughts. Well, to me, Scotland has been a team that's been consistently building for the past 10 years. They've come a long way from some of the performances they've had in the past. And I think it's time for them to, start notching off a few of these upsets. I'm not saying it's going to happen this weekend, but
a few upsets. You talk about the best team in the world.
No, that's what I'm saying. It would be an upset, but I'm not saying it's going to happen this weekend. But this is the time for them because they're a contender now for Six Nations. If they string a good 5-6 games together, I do think they can compete in the Six Nations and not just, compete for that middle of the table spot. Initial thoughts for the week, but
Aiden, you say that they're a contender, right? But the previous Six Nations,
do you agree with that, Murray?
They lost to Italy.
Yeah,
Italy that lost to Samoa.
No, I understand that, but for me, this is a side that has quality in their team. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
some of their players are incredible. Blair Kinghorn, to me, is special. I think he's amazing. I love their centres. Tui Pilotu might be my favourite centre in the world. He is incredible. The way he runs the ball, the way he distributes, just those little off-the-shoulder balls that he does. Sexy. Love it. And I think this team, they just got to get their performance together for 80 minutes. And I know that's a big ask, especially against a team like South Africa. But if they start putting those performances together, I think they could be a scary challenge. Saying that, I'm not sure it's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah, listen. I know I just bantered a bit, but Scotland is a very respectable team. They are a very good team, right? That centre combination up there for best in the world. Like just the combination itself, it is sensational. Duan van der Merwe, great winger. Finn Russell, you can have his days of absolute magic. The one threat that I really like about Scotland is at the breakdown. They lose his sensational at the breakdown once again. So they've got a lot of star players. They can match up pretty well. My big problem going into this game, and I know this is going to sound very cocky, but I just don't see where Scotland gets the advantage in this game, right? Obviously, they have the home ground advantage, but I don't think they can match at the line-out or the physicality or the scrum necessarily. They might have a free-flowing, attacking, running rugby style, but we've got some of the best rush defense in the world. How much can Finn Russell create when he's got a returning Franco Mostert or Ruan Norkia or Pieter Steph Tutoy steaming down at them, a hungry Jasper Wiese, right? Who always plays in, for instance, England where it's this weather. I know we're playing in Scotland, but it's kind of the same thing, So, I just don't see where they get the advantage in this game. Murray, am I being too cocky? Or where do you see yourself getting the advantages?
If we can, I can't think how to word it. If we can if we can match you physically. I'm not saying for the whole 80 because that's a Herculean task on its own. If we can match you physically just for that little bit, even at the start, you'd be like, oh, what's going on here? And then there's that little bit of gap where we could take it. And I don't know. I know what we can do. We need our lineup to be like top form because 1-2 mishaps in the line out, a scrum penalty, and the game will casually just run away from us. But if we can keep our mistakes down, and I know that's very cliche, but if you keep your mistakes down to a minimum, if you play smart rugby, if you don't need to go flashy. There's a thing we do more Edinburgh than Glasgow because Glasgow are a very well drilled side in the URC, obviously defending champions. But Edinburgh was really bad for like 5 meters out on their own line instead of just up and playing it front jumper in the second row to just get the ball away. They would do this big like overthrow and put everyone under pressure. Like, yeah, don't do that. And
I don't think Scotland really is. Scotland is a very clinical team. So I think if you get your opportunities, you'll take your opportunities. But I think you'll have to work for the opportunities in this game. And what you said with the go.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say I think obviously losing Darcy Graham sucks. You don't want to lose any of your key players. But I think because of how well Darcy did last week, you'll be looking like, look at him. This is what he's been doing. Whereas Aaron Reid, for example, who hasn't been tested at this level for international rugby, might just slip in and you're not really entirely sure how to. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, you're not entirely sure how to approach him.
I'd be more worried about that if it was like a more prominent position and not someone that finds himself like on the wing, if you get what I mean. Thing is, like, we have the same thing. You always see Frans Malherbe. We're finally going to play a game without Frans Malherbe.
That's true.
We've got Thomas du Toit in. We've got no Damien Willemse, but then there's Apelile Fassi, right, who's only recently come into the Springboks setup. I would love to see a Cameron Anakom, by the way.
That'd be great.
What I wanted to bring up is obviously we played each other in the World Cup, right? And I thought you guys matched pretty decently in the first half physically, right?
Yeah.
Until you won that one scrum penalty. And I think that's also where you lost the game. Because there you celebrated like you won the game right at the end and you got your 3 points. When we saw that celebrations, that was like, okay, South Africa, let's pull our fingers out of our arsehole and actually play some rugby. And we saw what happened in that second half. I mean, that first scrum has to be up there with one of the most dominant scrums you will see in rugby. And I just think for Scotland, it would be keep composure. Like, don't celebrate the small victories too much because you know it's going to be consistent. One scrum penalty is not going to win you this game.
What we need, and I agree with you on that, is especially like let's just say we are controlling the game quite comfortably, not on the scoreline, just possession, territory. We're in control. Keep our foot on the throat. We're really bad for taking the pressure off. And then just giving teams, and again, no disrespect, because Fiji are a good team. We did let Fiji into that game for about 20 minutes last week. You can't do that against Springboks, against All Blacks, even the Wallabies, really. You can't do that against the big. If you want to be contenders for the Six Nations, like Aidan said, you can't do that against Ireland. You can't do that against France. You can't do that against England, especially this year, because we're away to England and France. You can't do that away from home. At home is different, but again, when you're in control, you need to take every opportunity, even if it is kicking for the sticks. I couldn't care less. People keep asking me my score prediction. I'm like, I don't care if it's by 1, by 3, 25. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't like.
He'll take the win. It's a hit and run scenario. It's the same as what Aiden wants to do at the Aviva.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I think for Scotland in this game, it's going to have to be just a really gritty performance. You know, keep it tight in the forwards. Hold on to possession is going to be key. I think, especially around those short channels from either side of the ruck. Just really not letting the South African loose forwards and good jacklers slow them down, because South Africa are a menace everywhere on the park, let's be real. But they are brilliant at the breakdown, at not just like stealing the ball, but they're really good at just being niggly and slowing it down and just really disrupting your whole phase play. And so I think for Scotland to keep themselves in this game is have a really gritty performance, do the simple things well, and try their best to hold them out, as simple as that sounds.
The big that obviously the World Cup, our bottle sunk essentially. Second half, he's just ripped us to shreds. But since then, we didn't really have a spine of the team. Whereas now, like, it is Glasgow Warriors heavy. They've went to South Africa. They've won the URC. I know that's club rugby and international rugby is very different, but it has brought in a winner's mindset. And like Blair Kinghorn being in France, winning the top 14 in Champions Cup, he comes in and goes like, "Well, let's win this." You've got Finn Russell that was in a Premiership fight. Do you know what I mean? Like all the key players now are like in finals, winning silverware, apart from the Edinburgh boys, but that's a different story for a different day. But you know what I mean? Like overall, good 13, maybe 14 players on that starting 15 have been in finals in the last season, have won silverware.
Yeah,
and they want
that's pretty close to the 23 South Africans that have won the World Cup. The one silverware that really matters. But fair point, Murray. Fair point. Fair point. No, listen. I think this is going to be a sensational game. Like it's one of those games, and we'll speak about the rest in one sec. But it kind of feels like this is one of those games. It doesn't matter what form the teams are on. It just says this is going to be a good game. Like this is going to be a class game. Just what's the weather there for you guys, Murray? Because I know this might Sunday night 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Isn't that?
No, it's like a 10 past 4 kickoff here. So 10 past 6.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. 8 o'clock Friday night for.
Yeah. I was panicking. I was at 8 o'clock.
My bad.
On a Sunday.
I just don't want a rainy game.
I want a rainy game. I hope it pisses it down.
What, on Friday night?
I don't think... I've not checked the weather yet, but so far it's been quite dry this week.
Are you filming on your phone?
Of course, I always film on my phone.
Otherwise, I would have just told you to check the weather on your phone.
Always reply.
I hope it's cold, miserable, level it a little bit, because what a spectacle that would be. Just like only short passes, just ruck phase play the whole game. And I think that would be a little bit of a leveler. But if the weather's been good, the weather's been good. But I'd love to see a wet.
Great. It's just been dry, but it's getting quite cold quite quickly. So we'll see how it goes. But again, you play with what's in front of you, sort of thing, don't you? So, but no, I am excited for this. I didn't realise, I got my years mixed up. I thought we beat you in like 2017. I was wrong. We've not beat you since 2010. So there's a lot more riding at this. Yeah. And
you haven't even beaten us when we had like our worst phase of rugby.
That's
crazy.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have, wait a minute, but we've also not had, like, we've always had, especially in my lifetime, we've had like one great player with shit round them. And then we had two good players, but they were still rubbish around us. And now it's like you've got world-class stars with good players as well.
Yeah,
I think that's even a bit harsh now. I think you've got great players all around the pitch. Like
now.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn Russell, probably top 3 fly-offs. Hugh Jones, in my opinion, is sensational. Tuipolatu is sensational. Dwan van der Merwe, Darcy Graham, King Horn, probably all top 3, top 5 in their positions.
All probably pushing for Lions as well. I know that's not relevant to this game, but probably all pushing for British and Irish Lions spots at the end of the year as well. So
yeah, definitely.
Then the forwards, you've got obviously Pierre Schumann, because he's a big boy. We'll love him. Dylan Richardson's really done well coming back into this, considering I think he got capped just to cap him back in 2021. Like let's cap him. He's great, and then just never used him again.
Well, who would we rather play against, right? Let's quickly switch over to the Springboks.
Go on then.
Who would you rather play against? Andre Pollard or Mani Lobok?
Mani Lobok, because he can't kick.
Yeah, but what if Jaden Hendricks takes the kicking duties? And Mani can just play his free-flowing rugby?
Okay, well, right, okay.
He single-handedly beat you guys
Yeah,
early in the
Probably Pollard, because if Pollard's at 10, it's a slower game. It's more methodical.
You can't concede a penalty anyway.
I know that. I know, but it's slower tempo. It's not just 100 miles an hour every time, whereas Mani will.
Aiden will disagree with you because Pollard played a high-tempo game against the All Blacks and he played pretty well.
Weirdly, he played a high-tempo game and he missed a few kicks. It was a bizarre performance. Yeah, that game against New Zealand. Yeah, it was bizarre. Yeah, it was quick, good running rugby, nice passing, but he missed a couple kicks at the sticks, which is unlike him.
Yeah, it's a very weird challenge. So, like, I don't know. Is there a third option I could pick, Divan?
Sasha?
He's injured. That'll do. That'll work. He's hurt. Yeah.
You can have Jordan Hendricks, who's got a video of him kicking it from 75 meters out.
At altitude?
Yeah, altitude, yeah. Do it at sea level when it's pissing down with rain in the capital of Scotland.
Fair enough. Tiernan, obviously you were away eating your spice box. We don't know where you were. Maybe you were taking a shit.
Spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti and
but
meatballs.
Anyway, what's your thoughts? Just thinking about the South Africa versus Scotland game. Do you give Scotland a chance, or do you think South Africa they should have this in the bag?
Looking at recent record, South Africa should without doubt be able to win this game. But at the same time, it's a home game for Scotland. Anything could happen with home advantage. A lot of mind games this week between two teams, two head coaches. At the same time, Scotland, they don't have a weak team by any means. So it's definitely not going to be a walkover like people are saying. But at the same time, so much expectation on the Springboks to go get a decisive result here. It is, you could arguably say, their hardest game this tour for both teams. But I'm going to say Springboks win, but a close one. Maybe 5-7 points.
Okay. Yeah. Kenan, you've set it up. Let's go into predictions. So you're going 5 to 7 points. Aiden, what are you going?
I said in a recent video that flags are going down. I said in the recent video that I think it'll be competitive for the first 50, 60 minutes. But I just feel like it's a big ask to go a full 80 against the Springboks. And so I think the last 30 minutes is going to be a real grind. And I had South Africa winning by 15.
Yeah. Let's go to the Scotsman.
Scotland get a win. Like I said, I don't care about how much. 1, 3, 5, 8. No, you know what? I'll give an actual one. We'll run it back. Let's beat you 21-17. The exact same score when we last beat you. There you go. That'll be fun.
Fair enough. I'm going a respectable score. I think we thrashed them by 22 points. Listen, I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner. As I mentioned earlier, right? I think the Springboks are going into this automations where it's like we've got the wins, but we want some statement performances now. We want to put on those 80-minute clinics. And I just feel, even though Scotland's
don't do it against us.
I do respect Scotland a lot as a team. I think they're a great team, but we need to get some decent scores on decent teams. And I think the way that Scotland plays, they play into our hands, right? They try and score a lot of tries. They try and be abrasive with the attack. And I think that plays into our hands, the way that we defend. And I don't think the Scottish defense is that great. That's my opinion. I do think they leak points. And if you leak points against the Springboks, I just believe you're going to get punished. And the Scots might keep it close for the first half, come out of the blocks flying, maybe half-time score like 14-10. And then South Africa just take us over. Obviously, you know how the Saffers are. We just cocky like that. It is what it is, right? You got to live with it. Anyway, we'll fly through the other games as well. People, do remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to post a Super Brew link in the description where you guys can join up, okay? And give us your predictions. This is a saucy game. Aiden, you mentioned it. We're just going to do score predictions on these ones, boys. But how exciting of a game is Italy versus Argentina?
It's going to be
Oh,
high
my
scoring.
goodness.
It's definitely.
Yeah.
Why don't we
Oh,
see this
that's
matchup more often? Is all I'm asking. I feel like I haven't seen this matchup in ages, and these teams are built to go against each other. It feels like there's a rivalry between them, but I've never seen them play against each other.
Good point. Yeah.
I think it's going to be fireworks. I think, like Tiernan said, high scoring. I think Argentina are in a better position right now with Contepomi.
They lost their previous games, they're winning this game.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they're
Guaranteed.
on, off. But I think overall, they're definitely in a better position. I had Argentina, can't remember if I said 12 or 9. One of those, 12 or 9 points to Argentina.
Fair. I mean, Italy looked like a good team, right? Obviously, they beat Scotland. You think, okay, well, they're taking it to the next level. Right? They're taking it to the next level. They go to Samoa, lose there. But I think that was like an experimental team. There was no Mendham or Brex or anything out there. But I'm backing Argentina to get it done. 6 points, like nail biting. But this game reeks of a 38-44 game. Something like that.
That's how it should be. Just who cares about defense? No, I'll stick with you. I'll say Argentina get the win by 10. Nice, comfortable margin, but not an absolute thrashing. So yeah,
Fairs.
Gonna be boring. Got the same. Argentina win, maybe by a close one though. I'm going to say 3 to 5 points. It's going to be high scoring the whole time. They are both really the underdogs of their leagues.
Yeah. Homegrown
they're
keeps
kind of
Italy in the game.
Because Italy, they've been a pretty terrible team.
You know, we love an upset victory. I'm calling the upset nice and early on this one. Wallabies to beat England. I'm not a fan of that English team. I don't think Steve Borthwick is a great coach. I think this Australian team is a lot better than people think. Joe Schmidt, he does miracles. And Tiernan can't banter it because he knows he made the Irish team what it is today. If you look at that Aussie team,
Joe Schmidt,
Angus Bell, Taniela Tupou, Alan Alatua, Fraser McWright, Rob Valentini, who's one of the most underrated players in my opinion. I think Carlo Tizzano is great, even though he's probably not even going to play. Wilson will probably be that 8th man. Tate McDermott, that centre combination, Paisami and Len Ikitau.
Paisami's injured.
Sorry?
Paisami's injured.
Ooh.
They might play Dalguna in the centres. They could play Dalguna in the centres.
Simo Karevi's back. I'm just saying Karevi is back in the mix, so you could,
okay.
or you could.
Oh my word, he's Walt Skelton also back.
Walt Skelton's back. I was going to say
playing the best rugby of his life. Well, the English team, I said it previously. Listen, people are talking about this English team nearly beating the All Blacks. They lost to the All Blacks 3 times. Lost to not the Welsh team. They lost to Scotland. So they lost to Scotland. They lost to the French team that everyone's talking about. Oh, DuPont, they were so shit that got hammered by Ireland. They lost to all of those teams. They nearly lost to Wales in the Six Nations as well. This is not a good team. Not a good team. They scraped over the line against Fiji and lost to Fiji. This is not a good team. This is not a good coach. They were better when they played against the All Blacks in New Zealand, but then got rid of the coach that made them that good. I'm going Australia to get the victory.
I'm going for an upset Australia win as well. I'm going to say Australia by 2. Joe Schmidt, he's the man. Led Ireland to what it is today. I respect him massively, and it's hard not to back a team that he's coaching in a game like this, especially against
60
England.
prediction there. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to go last minute win, penalty, or whatever it is, last minute try. Australia steal the game.
Oh, I feel disgusting saying this, but I'm actually thinking England's going to win. That feels sick coming out of my mouth, actually.
Because he knows he has to say that, otherwise it takes away from their victory last weekend against
Yeah, well, I just think, I think Australia has been discounted far more than they deserve. They have some absolute heaters in their team. That back line, that back 3, obviously Fraser McWright is incredible. I just think this being their first game of the tour, whereas England have had that game under their belt, I think they'll be a little better prepared. And I think they'll edge it. I said 8 points, and I'm going to stick with it. But I don't feel good saying it, just letting you know. I'd much rather Australia win.
Murray,
Yeah.
before you go with your prediction, you watched the Prem a bit more than the rest of us. What's your
Yes.
thoughts on England switching around their centres?
It actually makes a lot more sense. Ollie Lawrence never plays 12 at club level. He's a 13. It makes a ton
He
more
also
sense.
never plays 12 at club level, does he?
Well, Henry Slater has played 12 for England in the past, and it's almost just that second distributor, second playmaker, whatever you want to call it. So it actually makes a lot more sense. And it's not a 6-2 split this week on the bench with two halfbacks. That didn't make any sense last week. So I'm with Aiden. It's going to hurt, but I think England's going to be really annoyed that they feel like they had it last week. They didn't get the win. I think England's going to win it it's going to be tight by 2, 3, 5 at the most. Nothing spectacular.
Yeah. I'm going Australia by 6.
I like
Six,
it.
Okay. Saucy one. It's the final one that we're going to predict because we're not going to talk about the devil in rugby.
Yeah.
French. We're not going to talk about them.
All right, yeah, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Let's talk Wales, Fiji.
Tier 2 matchup. Love it.
I think Wales beat them down this weekend.
I don't know about beat them
I
down.
don't think so. I think Fiji are going to win.
Fiji can't have their strongest players. You know that.
They
No,
do.
they can't.
They do.
They can't.
International
Yeah, everyone can go full strength now.
Yeah. So it'll be a full strength Fiji against a
Full strength Wales.
full strength Wales, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
But no, I can't keep dogging Wales. They're going to come back eventually. I'm just going to keep saying it until it happens. It might be a long wait, but I think Wales will have just a bit more class, a bit more control. They've got some young talent coming through. Wales to win.
Wainwright, Rafael, and Jack Morgan.
Tasty. Sensational back row.
Fireworks.
It's a really good back row.
And they've been better in the URC. I know everyone's written off Wales. I'm not saying they're going to be great, Wales, but it's been looking up in the URC. I've been impressed by the performances by the Dragons. I know they haven't got the results, but they've looked better, like a lot better. Ospreys, obviously, they've got the injury crisis. But look at the Scarlets. Flying.
Yeah.
Couple of star boys out there. Beat the Bulls.
Yeah.
Full strength Bulls also. Nearly full strength.
Yeah, they have talent in them. They have a culture of winning that they just need to dig deep and find again, because they were the premier team in Europe for, 5-6 years. And obviously that's gone a long way away from where they are now, but I think they can get back to it. And these are the games they have to start winning consistently to build their way back to who they were.
Yeah.
Blissful,
what are you going?
Yeah, but that's where a comeback starts. Small URC wins like that, then more of that happen, and now suddenly they have a good national team again. I do think Fiji, it's a good opportunity for them to get a win. But at the same time, this Fiji team, it's a lot better than people say. Last week, when they played Scotland, it was just the Fiji and Drew team. They didn't have any of their top 14 players, and they've got a lot of those. So with all them back now, I think it'll be a really close game. I think Fiji will win it. But again, it's not over for Wales. They are going to slowly come back over the next 3 years, I think. And by next World Cup, they'll be back to a respectable team again.
Okay. But you backing Fiji, right? A couple of points to Fiji.
I'm still backing Fiji. Who hates Fiji? Everyone wants to see Fiji get a win, especially against tier 2 opposition. They narrowly lost some of the World Cup. Everyone remembers that photo of
Raja? No.
Oh, shit. Oh, do you know what he looks like? He looks really like Rudiger from Madrid.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah, it's so similar. But yeah, so obviously, Raja dropping that ball. They could have won that game, and I think there's a lot of World Cup revenge stories going to happen this weekend, I feel, and this is definitely one of them. I'm going to go Fiji by 8 points.
Yeah. Okay, Murray, what are you going?
I'm going for Wales because there's nothing, not just in rugby, just in sport, there's nothing more dangerous than a team that has nothing to lose. It cannot get any worse for Wales. Just let them do what they want. Thomas Williams at Gloucester has been one of the signings of the season for me. His halfback partner, Gareth Anscombe. They've got young Blair Murray, under-20s Kiwi now from at the Scarlets doing well. You've got a lot of
Who's the flyer for the Scarlets?
Is it what?
Costello.
Who? No,
Costello.
not Costello. No. The other one, the young guy. He's been very good.
Nice page. He's not there. But Eddie James is the inside centre for Scarlets. He's in the squad. I'd like to see him get a good run out. Tom Rogers on the wing, doing that sensational step a few weeks ago. They got them that win with the Bulls. Get him on the international scene. Nicky Smith has revitalised his career at Leicester Tigers. Dewi Lake as captain wears his heart on his sleeve every game he pulls on that Welsh jersey. You've got Jack Morgan back in the mix. Tame Plumtree battling out with Aaron Wainwright. Tommy Raffel, like you've already mentioned. Yeah, it's a good Welsh team. They just need a win. And I'd like to see them get it done this weekend.
Yeah. So how many points are you doing it?
6. Yeah. 6.
I'm going 12 points. I'm going 12 points to Wales. I think this is the perfect game for them. Fiji are not disciplined enough at the breakdown, in my opinion, and I think that's where Jack Morgan and Tommy Raffel and Aaron Wainwright, they will have a field day there. And I just think it's a good matchup for this Welsh team.
Yes, so very good opener as well.
And that is the podcast for tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope you guys like watching this little fan forum that we've got going. Please do come in on probably Monday evening for the review of this weekend. But yeah, please remember to like and subscribe. We do appreciate you guys. Go and support all of these guys. Well, that side actually. All of their social medias. Okay? We do appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye.